In this episode of Detroit Performs, a dance instructor brings professionalism to the Detroit ballet scene. A theater excels in bringing new works to life. And an arts and culture center celebrates its Latino roots. It's all ahead on this edition of Detroit Performs.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta faucets, craft-made in Merillat cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929. Funding is also provided by the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Detroit Performs. I'm your host, DJ Oliver, and I am very excited to be at the Purple Rose Theater. I'll be taking you on a tour throughout the show, and we'll get further in depth in the second segment. But first up is dancer Cornelia Sampson, who put her talent and energy into a youth ballet company over 30 years ago. Now, she cultivates a group of young ballet performers every year who put on performances that could easily be mistaken as professional. Take a look.
What I try to instill in my dancers is the love and passion for dance.
For me, it feels like a release. It definitely feels like I'm able to express myself.
As human beings, we look for beauty, we look to be inspired, excited. I think that's why people go to art museums, that's why people go to ballets. I began dancing when I was 8 years of age, and by 12 I was totally smitten. And I think my two dreams really were even forming at that age. I wanted to become a professional dancer, and after I have my professional career, I would like to have an amazing school. Michigan Ballet Theater. I began the company in 1985 when I formed a really solid nucleus of dancers.
It's the only ballet company that I know of in Michigan that's so professional and strictly for ballet.
We don't have a major ballet company in the city of Detroit, and so I think Michigan Ballet Theater is as close as you can get, and we do hire professional lead roles. The guest artists are from major ballet companies that we bring in, so you get to see both members of the community and the guest artists, where you don't have to go to New York or to Chicago to see that.
We have a rehearsal schedule and class schedule similar to a professional ballet, and the teaching as well as choreography and different styles of dance included in Michigan Ballet Theater really gives you that all-around base to see what a professional life would be like.
The first time I was here, I just had this sense of belonging.
This is what I love to do, and it's my happy place. So when I'm in the studio, when I'm working with my students, and sometimes I tell them, you're my clay, and work on their technique and work on their artistry. But on the sauté, it's lift one, land two, step, piqué, plié. I'm very happy here, and it's my second home, actually.
As a mentor, Cornelia is awesome. She's supportive, but she's also tough, so she pushes you to do your best, and she really takes care of us.
Run, 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 soft, okay? No movement. No, it's hard, but you can do it, right?
I sit at the desk, and what's nice is I do get to turn around and watch her instruct, and it's impressive, at least to me, to watch her even just demonstrate for these girls. You can see the art come through with her, and her passion and her love for the dance, just even in her instructing.
Stretch that leg. Remember, I told you a little higher so they can see the foot. The company brings wonderful full-length ballets to Southeast Michigan, to communities that might not otherwise be able to enjoy a live performance.
We've definitely put on some shows that I didn't think we could do. Like, I didn't think we could put something like this big together.
I choreograph all of the performances. Choreography is scary because you're so critical of yourself and all the steps you put together. I love the process of choreographing, but the result is always you sometimes rethink things or second guess things or have to create the piece on the dancers you're working with. So sometimes you might think something looks amazing in your mind, and then you realize that some of the dancers might not be able to execute. So then you have to recreate. Up, lift up your hip, good. One, over, cross your feet, good. The Sleeping Beauty that we're doing now, the choreography is by Maurice Petipa, but the staging, it's my staging, and I've choreographed within the ballet. The Garland dance is mine, Lilac Court, and many of the dances I have re-choreographed.
She's very creative and she's willing to change things that she doesn't like, and when she sees us do something that we may struggle with or that we're not necessarily liking as dancers, she's willing to change it and modify it, which makes it better for all of us.
They're over there, so you're pleading with Carabosse, you're pointing to the king and queen. All those things are important, all right? After you've worked so hard and pulled a piece together and you're pleased with what you see, it's a wonderful feeling of accomplishment. And that's what it's all about. It's about giving, it's about the dancers being able to perform, and it all comes together. Look, very hurt, very hurt. You, yeah, and I meant you no harm. The stories are told with mime. They're movements that explain, you know, what is happening, your love, or if someone is dying, then this is death, and fear. All of this is expressed through movement, or an expression, facial expression, obviously. If someone comes over to you and they say, oh, isn't that beautiful? Then you say yes, and you share it with someone else. And so the whole thing comes alive because you're all friends.
You can express yourself in a way that most arts can't. You're only using your body, no words. So it's challenging, but it's also really exciting to try those new things with ballet. And of course, point shoes, those are always so fun. They hurt, but it's so fun to dance in, you feel beautiful doing it.
Sometimes it looks like it can be easy, but that's our job, is to make what's hard look easy on stage and make it look effortless. But there's a lot of work that goes behind it.
Make sure when you do the arabesque, the first arabesque is with your left hand. And go. Dance is very repetitious. Technique takes a lot of repetition in order to gain the strength and the muscle memory to execute a step perfectly.
I feel like there's a lot of difficult moves depending on which stage you're in. The things that I struggle with the most, she's always reminding me of those things, and she's always pushing me every day to do better in those steps and in the roles that I'm playing. And she always praises me when I do well, so I feel like those two things combined, and she has that great balance of doing that, so it just makes me better in the long run.
The girls love it. They love being here. You can see that every day.
Once they get at a certain level, I think they feel the need to be here. They love it, the same as I did and do. And they enjoy coming together, and they have some of their closest friends are here at the studio.
Every single time we come to the studio, everyone's so welcoming, everyone's so nice, but at the same time we have this aura of being so professional and so involved, and it's such an amazing experience.
Cornelia definitely pushes you to be your best. She doesn't let you give up, and she has you practice your turns until you get them exactly right, or just to practice your technique over and over until it's perfect. And I think that creates sort of a perfectionist mindset in a lot of dancers, and you see that outside of the studio as well. Like, all the girls here do really, really well in school.
In the classroom, in our studio, we have school books on the floor, and if they're not needed in rehearsal, they're doing homework. And it's so wonderful to see how they can budget their time. I'm so proud of the dancers because so many have gone on to dance professionally, But those that don't go on to dance professionally, they take this work ethic with them, and they're prepared to work hard at whatever profession they go into. Of course, I love it when they're successful in their ballet careers, but I just want them to be healthy and have learned something from this experience.
Sir. Oh, sorry, just getting my tickets for the next Purple Rose performance. You can learn about the Michigan Ballet Theater as well as all the artists we feature on DetroitPerforms.org. Next up, we find out more about the Purple Rose and take a sneak peek into how plays at the Purple Rose are cultivated during a greenhouse workshop where the playwright sits down with the actors to grow a play. Take a look.
When you see a show at the Purple Rose, there will be a consistent quality that I think stands out. We write for people, for the wide collective of diverse souls that call this part of the world home. The Midwest voice is, we think, it uses humor as a window into the human heart. We have great stories to tell that are universal. And I think we have a pretty unique sense of humor that I think plays well all over the world. The Purple Rose was started by Jeff Daniels back in '91. He had moved his family back here because he wanted to, raise them literally where he grew up, and wanted to give something back. So he bought this building and started a professional theater that specialized in doing new plays, new work, and developing talent in the Midwest here. And he named it after the film he did with Woody Allen called The Purple Rose of Cairo. It's had a huge impact on the community and local business. It doesn't just enhance the quality of life, it has a significant economic impact. It's a town of 5,000 people, and we entertain about 40,000 people a year.
People come here to see the show, and then they go out to dinner, or then they go, to the cute little shops and buy stuff. So I honestly don't think Chelsea would be Chelsea, which is why Jeff put the theater here.
What stands out for me with the Purple Rose Theater is the quality of the work that they do and the fact that they are consistently putting on new plays and willing to take those risks, and they do it just better than anywhere I've seen.
It's important to do stories that relate to the audience. That was Jeff's vision for the place, and it's the lifeblood of theater.
The way that I always feel when I see work here is that I'm spying on something that's actually happening. It really, to me, feels so in the moment and so just real that it truly feels like you've just kind of been dropped into someone's living room or back porch or world in some way. And that, to me, is part of what stands out.
We do so many world premieres. I feel like this place really is more of a collaborative effort, and it's essential if there's new work, like the play we're going to look at today. None of us have read it yet.
I kind of knew the actors that I was writing for, so when I saw everybody today, it was kind of like, wow, I feel like you guys have been in my head for the last 3 weeks. And the act of writing is a very solo activity, so this is my favorite part, when we get to come in and play.
It's what we call the greenhouse, Purple Rose Greenhouse. It's where we grow new plays. We bring in actors, stage manager, director, the playwright, and we tear the script apart and we try to make it better.
You will be seeing a completely cold read, meaning that none of these actors have seen the play yet. They just got it this morning. I have never heard the play. Guy has not seen anything about it.
I like you.
I'm a wreck.
In some ways, it's the final step of the writing of the first draft process is to hear it out loud, but it's the first step of the development of the play process, because plays aren't meant to be read, they're meant to be spoken.
I think you do have 15 pages to play around. We can play around, but the sequence of events, again, the way that you use heartbreak to set up laughs is masterful.
We are a company, so we're comfortable with each other. We can speak very candidly about what we like and what we think could be better. Ideas flow freely.
I usually just try to keep quiet and listen, and then afterwards, then I do like to hear from everybody about what they liked and what they didn't like, but more importantly, like where the gaps are, what didn't make sense, what felt like an illogical leap, places that they dropped out and weren't interested and stuff like that.
It's great because everybody matters. You know, at the end of the day, it's still Carrie's play and Guy's the director, but everyone's voice counts.
I really like how, you know, we have the setting of it being in the paint place, that we have something to do, and it's so real. Like before we started reading today, this is what we were doing. Like some of these things, we were talking exactly about this, and I think it like reveals things in a way that our audience will be able to say, oh, that's me.
We've produced more new plays by women than any other theater in the Great Lakes region, not because they're women, but just because they're damn good plays. And my experience has been that women are more interested in the process than in the result. And that's really crucial to the process that we employ here in creating this work.
I knew that I wanted to write something for all women, and I kind of knew what each character's backstory was. Very clearly, I knew who each woman was, and then I just put them in the situation. And the play, unlike anything I've done before, it takes place in real time, so it literally unfolds over the course of about 85 minutes, which would be kind of what one of these paint nights are. So I kind of just put them all in the room together and waited to see what would happen.
I think I want to be a willow tree.
You do.
I do, one that bends ever so gently with the breeze. But I want to be a tree.
Wow. Great work.
Thank you, guys.
We like plays about people, and maybe you'll laugh, maybe you'll be challenged a little bit from time to time, but my hope is that you walk out of here after seeing a show and maybe not feel quite so alone, you know that a little bit more about what it means to be human, and have a great time. That's what we want.
And I think any good play, people will recognize something either in themselves or their children or their parents. So many people have so many stories that none of us, we don't know what anybody carries with them, you know, but if we see it in a play and we recognize something, maybe it's not my stuff I recognize, but I can see it in my friend, maybe I'll be a little better.
The audience is our partner in this process. They're not just paying customers. The thing is not complete until they're here. And you know, if we do our work right, somebody in these purple seats will be changed in some significant way. I know that I have been.
What's up, guys? As you can see, I scored a backstage pass at the Purple Rose green room before the show. As you can see, the actors are sitting right there getting ready, and I'm just eavesdropping on their antics. Now let's check out some upcoming events happening in and around the D. To discover more events in Greater Detroit, visit ixity.com. In September of 1991, the Guadalupe Arts and Cultural Center premiered its first performance in celebration of Mexican Independence Day. Since then, the center continues to celebrate the Latin roots of San Antonio, Texas, by offering residents a wide range of arts and educational programming focused on the city's rich history.
At the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center, we have amazing programming all year round. You know, we have our Guadalupe Theater, and that's where we present major musicians, plays, performances. But in addition to that, we have an academy where we teach everything from mariachi music to folklorico dance, So we have something for everyone and for all ages. My name is Belinda Benchaca, and I am the Director of Education for the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center. So I've actually been with the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center for 24 years. A year prior to my employment, I was on the advisory council for the Guadalupe Dance Company. So we are passing a wonderful milestone, 25 years as a dance company, which to us is very, very symbolic. To be able to stay together this long and to actually have one of our original dance company members is still part of the program. She is now the dance program director.
My name is Jeanette Chavez, and I am the dance program director for the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center. From a very early age, I have known and always have known that I wanted to become a dancer. I knew very early on that once I was in rehearsal, once I was in the dance studio, once I was in class or on stage, there is no other place that I would rather be. Something just magical seems to happen when the music is on and you're performing. Energy completely changes. And when our dance company gets together, again, there's something magical that happens. We almost seem to have like a telepathic communication that happens, that everybody knows what we're supposed to accomplish in that time that we're there, and even on stage. When the Guadalupe Dance Company was first created, the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center executive director at that time, Pedro Rodriguez, brought in master choreographer Rafael Samarripa, and he's of the University of Colima in Mexico. And he was kind of an artistic advisor to create a dance company on a whole different level for San Antonio. We are rich in our culture here in San Antonio of our Mexican heritage, and we wanted to keep that alive, of course, and share that with future dancers and students to have a sense of cultural pride about where our heritage comes from. In our classes, which is unique to our program, we always try to teach our students not just dances and not just choreography, but also the history and the importance of the music and the dance and the costumes. And so from indigenous pieces to the kind of mixteco, the mixed pieces that are influenced from the Spanish culture, there are significant differences in the costuming. So, for instance, in Veracruz, there are these beautiful white costumes that were created specifically for the stage, but that's kind of become the standard. And so there's different parts, from the lace to the fan to the headpiece, the hair comb, even the style of the footwork, the way that it sounds, the music, different elements that are used within a dance performance.
The Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center has a great significance in our life because they've provided us a very safe and creative environment for us as a dance company, for our creative work, for allowing us to bring some of the best instructors from Mexico, from Spain, because we also perform flamenco dance, Spanish dance. It's our families that nourish us and that motivate us and that inspire us, the children and the families that we teach, that are learning from us, and we hope that we're providing great role models for our students and their families. We're connecting them to culture, we're connecting them to music, we're connecting them through something that's culturally significant and very, very, very rich. So that's the benefit of our work, is that we get to share it with others, with our students, but also with our audience members. And we pass along all of our knowledge and our information to our academy students. So our academy is the foundation of our work. It's the academy that actually provides our future. They are our future dancers, and so by sharing that information, we hope that we're going to have another 25 years to celebrate as a dance company.
To find out more about the Guadalupe Dance Company, visit the Detroit Performs website. And that wraps it up for this edition of Detroit Performs. As always, for more arts and culture, head to DetroitPerforms.org, where you'll find featured videos, blogs, and information on upcoming arts events. Also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. We'd like to thank the Purple Rose Theater for having us out here today and for continuing to bring excellence in theater to the metro area. I think the performance is about to start. So, until next Tuesday, get out there and show the world how Detroit performs, y'all. I'm DJ Oliver. Thanks for watching, guys.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta faucets, craft-made in Merillat cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929. Funding is also provided by the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.